All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome in. And hello if you're new here. So, thank you very much for enduring last week. Last week, I wanted to get all three videos to you. I know it was all in one, that's why it was time-stamped, but I was not going to have time on Wednesday or on Friday to sit down and to do the readings. So I wanted to take the time to get all three done. So if you missed that, or if you were looking for Wednesdays and Fridays videos, it's all in that one. It's all in that one. It's all right there for you. But this week, the plan is to do today's for you normally. And then Wednesdays will more than likely have Wednesdays and Fridays in it. The reason why is because we're still getting things unpacked at the new house, and I don't have a current spot to sit down and to do these readings for you. So, that is why this is being done the way that it is. We're still working out some of the fine print, fine-tuning things, working out the smaller details. So, thank you all for enduring this crazy time with me. But without further ado, let's get going. I invite you in. I invite your spirit guides in to talk to my spirit guides. Please come in, sit down, relax, and we'll see where we're going. We'll see what wants to come through for us today. Cosmo is down here, and he's got a bandage on his arm. So if you hear me, stop licking that or don't chew on that. I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to him. Mr. Man. It was either wrapping it, he had a cyst on his paw, right here. It was like, it wasn't on his paw, but it was like right here on his arm. And I took him to the vet. It's non-cancerous, thankfully. And so it was either bandage it and wrap it twice a day, or put him in the cone of shame. And I didn't want the cone of shame. So he's not in the cone of shame, but he knows that if he messes with it just enough, that he will get the cone of shame. So, but let's see where we're going. Let's see what wants to come through. Underneath, we have chaos and conflict. Okay. Past energy, we've got thinker. Okay. And future energy, we have co-create. So right off the jump, I feel like your mind, your headspace, is kind of in a tizzy. Is absolutely in a tizzy. It's been a while since I've seen chaos and conflict and co-create. It's been a hot minute. But the reason why I say that it is a mental space is because of thinker. I feel like there is something going on in your mind, something that you've given a great deal of thought about, and you may have gone too far down the rabbit hole. I've been known to do that a few times. You may have gone too far down the rabbit hole. Co-create could be with you or another person. Could be with you and the universe, you know, when you come out of this, because this is future energy. So when you come out, Cosmopolitan, leave it alone. When you come out of this chaos and conflict energy, you know, your head's been spinning a mile a minute. When you come out of that energy, I feel as though you have got quite a few solutions. You're kind of planned for a variety of different outcomes. So right now things may be a little crazy, but I do feel as though you may find some solutions in that craziness. Underneath, we have Dare to Dream. Okay. Past energy, we have Trust. In future energy, we have Ancestors. Your problems could be that you're breaking the mold. And we also have Reclaim underneath here. I feel like that is important, so I am going to take Reclaim. I feel like you're breaking the mold. And when I say that, what I mean is that I feel like the reason why you are in this crazy headspace here is because there's something that you want, but you are afraid to go and get it. You don't know how that will be achievable. I do feel as though you are trusting in the process, you are trusting in yourself, you are trusting in your guides, with Thinker. But it's almost like it's just too far out of your reach. I have Abraham Hicks going through my mind here. That's essentially, kind of telling me that, if you believe that it's just out of your reach, it's going to be out of your reach, right? But if you believe that it's obtainable, which it is, I mean, everything that we want is obtainable. It's within the vortex, of what it is that we desire, because the vortex is full of desires that we want. And the universe is wanting to give that to us. I feel like the universe is never really working against us. And I know for some of you, that's hard to believe. It's hard to believe that the universe is not working against us. Because sometimes there are things that we want and the universe doesn't deliver. Well, the reason why the universe doesn't deliver on those things is because there's either something there that you aren't seeing that the universe does not want you to be involved with, or there's something better down the line that's coming to you that if you settled for less, you would miss the opportunity. You would miss that better thing coming in. But the universe is always working in your favor. It really is. With the ancestors here, I do feel as though this could be an ancestor thing that you were dealing with. That maybe generational bonds or curses that you are breaking, breaking out of this mold. But you are reclaiming your energy. You are reclaiming who you are. I feel like that is part of a big takeaway of this chaos and conflict, is reclaiming the time that you have wasted on things that are no longer serving your purpose, or wasting time on coming up with doubt when you could very well and should be coming up with solutions. Because the universe wants to co-create with you, your ancestors want to co-create with you, but overthinking and doubt can definitely jeopardize some things. So underneath, we have the Seven of Pentacles, we have the Two of Wands, we have the Eight of Wands, and the Two of Pentacles, and I do see this Emperor energy. So, you've done really well with cultivating things up until this moment. Okay, just with the underneath, you've done really well with cultivating things up until this moment. But there's more here. It's almost as though you're working in just one section of the garden, and you keep telling yourself, I want to work over there. But, the seeds that I've planted are right here, right? So, the thought behind this is if you leave this part of the garden to go to this part of the garden, I feel as though that you believe that these seeds are going to fail. And that's not the case. And to clarify that, you believe that if your focus isn't right here all the time, 24/7, if you release the reins just a little bit, that what you've cultivated is going to fall apart. But I'm here to tell you that the universe is trying to tell you that there is more here. Two of Wands, there is more here. And the Two of Wands is actually reflected in Reclaim as well. So during this time, you could also be reclaiming your strength, reclaiming your power, reclaiming your belief that you can do this. But there are messages coming in that you can balance both. You can do both. It's just a matter of action. It's just a matter of putting in the work. I have, going through my mind here, I went to the Ren Fair this past weekend, kind of a side note here. This past weekend I went to a Ren fair, and we stumbled across a booth that was selling different herbs and different things, and the lady running it was a palm reader. And she read my best friend, or my boyfriend's best friend's palm, and then I'm like, you know what you got? And she read my palm, and one thing that she told me was that my gifts, I'm not honing them in as much as I should be. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I'm working in this section of the garden, right? I'm working with tarot. I'm working with these things. And she told me that there is so much more here than what I have tapped into. Mind you, I've got throwing bones. I have got runes. I have got dowsing rods. And that's only one portion of this garden. You know, I have a spell book. And for those of you who don't already know, welcome. I have a spell book with all of these different spells and incantations and herbs and teas and you know, a bunch of these other things that I collected. You know, they're in my book. But ever since I've collected them, I haven't really used them. And so it's kind of like that. It's kind of got that energy to it. It's like, okay, there's my message. There's my message of, I could be doing more. But my doubt swift kicks me really hard most days. And so I stick with what I know, right? You stick with what you know. But there is a calling here that is coming from outside of us, coming from our ancestors, our guards, guardians, guides, source energy, God, whatever it is that you believe in. You are being called, we are being called to do more, to co-create with the universe, with the energies around us. But the doubt's creeping in. You know, there's that, well, what if I do it wrong? You know, it's just what ifs. What if this happens? What if this happens? You know, what if I don't believe? Or, you know, my belief isn't what it should be. Or, you know, I believe that I can't do this. The universe doesn't work like that. And I'm here to tell you this message today is for you and it's for me. Because that's just how my spirit guides work. But we can do this. We absolutely can. You know what I just realized? The cards almost match the tank top I'm wearing. Oh yeah, by the way, don't mind this. It's raining outside, it's pouring outside, my clothes are in the washer. I'm in comfy clothes. I'm in sweatpants. Like, this is me today. Welcome to it. The Hot Mess Express. Alright, we have the 10 of Cups here. And then we have the 9 of Wands. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. What's the next step? The 3 of Swords. I will take a look at that 3 of Swords, but I already know what it's going to tell me. Grounding this energy is the 10 of Swords. Guiding this energy is the Moon. There's our intuition. Past energy, we have Death. Future energy, and there's the Ace of Wands. Inspiration, passion, being driven by those passions. Motion, Knight of Pentacles, the Devil energy, the 6 of Cups, and the outcome is the 6 of Swords. Woo-hoo-hoo! This is where the answer is. This is where the answer is. I told you that there's fear here. I told you that there was confinement. And I'm here to tell you, there's the lesson. There's the answer. It's coming from this fear. It's coming from things we've dealt with in the past. So, I want to take a look at this 3 of Swords. Why is that the next step? Why is that the next hurdle? What you got? 3 of Wands. 3 of Pentacles. Woohoo! Look at the 3s. The Wheel of Fortune and the Hanged Man. There is an energy of waiting. There's an energy of waiting, 3 of Wands. There's an energy of waiting, but the 3 of... I'm hearing completion. A waiting of completion? Or something is complete and now you're waiting. You're waiting for new ships to come in. You're waiting for a sign. Both the Wheel of Fortune and the Hanged Man, that is divine timing. That is divine intervention. And with the Hanged Man, it may look a little unorthodox. Again, when we walked up to that booth, it did not say palm readings here. It didn't. I checked. I checked. And what's also funny about that is it was me, my boyfriend's best friend, my roommate, Abby, and then Abby's boyfriend's daughter. We all went. It was just the 5 of us, right? And when I went and told Abby about, hey, this is what just happened, she looked at me and said, "I'm surprised you let her hold your hand." Because usually I'm very particular about my energy, right? And so it was out of the social norm for me. It was out of the way of what I would consider normal. It was a different point of view. It wasn't normal. And so that was my divine intervention. And so for some of you, there could very well be an off-the-wall comment or, an answer in a place where you don't think there should be an answer. And with this being the 3 of Swords, I feel as though this waiting has kind of brought about this doubt, has kind of brought about this fear, this heartache. Again, we have the Devil down here. We will take a look at that because those are your motion cards. The motion cards are what happens between here and the outcome. That is what happens. So right now I'm looking at you specifically. And this 3 of Swords is giving me these. Is giving me the doubt and the different point of view, but it's a little unorthodox in the fact that you're waiting for some sort of sign. The motion cards just tell me how we get from point A to point B. So with this message that's coming in, with this, point of view that's not entirely yours. I mean, I definitely feel like it's coming from someone else. Like I said, we do have divine intervention. It could be coming from your spirit guides. But that palm reader was definitely put in my path. And she also told me a few things that I have not told anyone ever. And when she called me out on it, I was like, okay. I hear you and I hear them. So there is a lesson. Knight of Pentacles. There is a lesson here to take away from this. What is that lesson? Because the lesson comes before the fear, and it's also tied with the 6 of Cups. Temperance. Temperance. 1 foot on land, 1 foot in the water. The Lovers. That's balance. I mean, both of these are balanced. There's the Chariot. There's motion. And there's the 9 of Swords. In order to get out of this, and there's the Divine Feminine. I will walk away with that one along with this Strength energy. Hello, hello. Along with the 10 of Wands. And for some of you, it's also the Queen of Pentacles. There is a balance here. There's something here that is out of balance, and that's why balance is so important. For those of you who don't have belief, like myself, do you not have belief because it hasn't worked out in the past? 6 of Cups? Because if that's the case, I'm here to tell you past situations, yes, are past situations. Yes, they happen to you. I'm not trying to unvalidate that for you. But these are different circumstances. These are different things at play. So just because, a past relationship didn't work for you doesn't mean that this person should be held to those standards. Or, if we're going off of the belief of who you are and wanting to chase your dreams, it may not have worked for your ancestors, for your grandma, your great-grandma, your great-uncle, whoever. They were living in different times. And now we are living in these times. If it is tied to your spirituality, like mine, yes, I struggle with some sort of belief, which is ironic because I'm a tarot reader. There's irony in there somewhere. But that my belief is what shapes my world. And I know that I tell you guys this constantly, but it's better to give advice than it is to take your own. It is. It's better to be able to give the advice and to help somebody else than it is to take your own advice. That's pretty much everyone. And so when it comes to taking away that belief, because beliefs are things that we keep telling ourselves over and over and over and over and over again until it becomes kind of second nature. So in order to get rid of that belief that you're not good enough or you're not powerful enough or you'll never get there, is to first change the way you talk to yourself. That is step one. Up here, your belief shapes your reality. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you're looking for a negative, you find the negative. If you're looking for a positive, you find the positive. This is nothing new on this channel. But then it also takes a step forward of you need to be talking to yourself in a gentle way. It's almost kind of like talking to your younger self. I'm seeing that, talking to your younger self and telling yourself that you are capable, you are beautiful, you can have that wonderful relationship. You do have all of this power within you. Like, these words of affirmation coming from you to you are important. And that is something that I'm going to start doing. I have to. Because apparently this is not enough. And it's not enough in a way that, oh, well, this, it just isn't enough. What I'm saying is that my gifts, my talents, there is more here than, what I'm touching. I'm touching surface level things. There's more here. And that's for me to do. But of course the doubt comes in of what if I get it wrong? When I sat down to do tarot, of course I got it wrong. The very first few times that I was learning, but it's learning. It's learning how to read the cards. It's learning how to channel the energy. It's a learning experience. When you first got your first job, or when you first started to ride a bike, or, on all of these things that you can do right now, you learned it at one point in time, and you weren't good at it then. You weren't. You weren't good at, cooking. I don't know why cooking's going through my mind. Maybe you're a baker. The first few times you try to make sourdough, or the first few times, you made a cake, you may have fucked it up because you were learning. And so that's what I feel like the whole takeaway from this is don't shoot yourself in the foot just because up here is full of nonsense and doubt and maybe even guilt. Don't do that to yourself. Really take the time to put yourself back into balance, because what you were asking of the universe, what you were asking of yourself is completely manageable, is completely reachable, obtainable. You are capable. I am capable. We together are capable. So in order to get beyond this doubt, in order to be able to get beyond this, there needs to be courage, there needs to be balance, there needs to be emotional balance along with the physical balance. You have to believe that you are worth and worthy of the things that you want. That is how the vibration works. That is how the universe works. I feel like I'm going on a tangent with Abraham Hicks right now. So, after you get beyond the doubt, by changing the belief, the way that you talk to yourself, by starting small and working your way to the bigger things, after we do that, we hit the Six of Swords, which means we move forward. Where are we going? Page of Swords. Okay. Four of Swords. I like that. The Star. Absolutely. And the Raising Consciousness card. Absolutely. So, with the Page of Swords, it is moving forward with clarity, with truth, right? But it is a little hesitant, which, is fine. Please don't think that once you move beyond this, you're not going to have moments of looking back, because we all do, right? But don't let the looking back hinder you. Don't be afraid to look back. Really look back and be like, I got through that. I got through that. And then you hit the Four of Swords and the Star card. That is healing. That is healing the beliefs that we are holding ourselves to, that are keeping us stagnant, keeping us held back. Then the Star card is wish fulfillment. I'm hearing the Disney, when you wish upon a star, you will get what it is that you want. There is a co-creation here with the universe, with you, and with me, and with our spirit guides and our ancestors and guards, guardians, guides, source, God. There is a co-creation here. But we are not on the same vibrational level to be able to meet them halfway. This is causing some serious transformation in your life for you. This is causing some serious transformation. I feel like when you look back after this energy has come to pass, you're going to look back on this, and I'm going to look back on this and be like, you know what? I needed that. I needed this. I needed this message. I needed this energy. I needed somebody to tell me that I was capable, so I could tell myself that I was capable. Somebody who saw the struggle that I was going through and helped me through it. Somebody who was not afraid to cut away the bullshit and to tell me what I needed to do. Mark my words. Today, what is it? April 27th, 2026. You will look back on this day. You will look back on this message. Months, years, doesn't matter. You will look back on this and be like, Ollie was right. I'm going to look back on this and be like, I was right then too. But this is some serious shifting energy. Like, this is like a hard pivot. This is a really hard pivot. I'm seeing somebody on roller skates. I don't know why I'm seeing somebody on roller skates. It's almost like they're going, then they pivot and they shoot off. That's what I'm seeing. I don't know. I don't make the rules. I read the cards. Okay? Okay. Zodiac signs that I see. Fixed signs: Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, Gemini, Aries, Scorpio, Sag, Pisces, Aquarius, Sag, Cancer. I'm also seeing Libra, Taurus. I don't know why Libra, Taurus is coming through my mind, but I'll take those two. Cancer. That's probably Libra, Taurus. That's why it's coming through. Leo, Sag. One more time just to make sure. Libra, Taurus. Fixed signs: Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, Gemini, Scorpio, Pisces, Aries, Aquarius, Sag, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Sag, Capricorn. And that's everyone. So, thank you guys very much for joining me. As always, your company, as well as the company of your spirit guides, is well appreciated. Hopefully this helped you guys. This was pretty deep today. Not deep in a way that I'm like, oh my god, I'm exhausted. But deep as in, this is something that you, as well as I, needed to hear today. So, thank you guys very much for joining me. As always, your company is well appreciated. And I will see you all again later. Bye for now.